Hi, this is Duclo, Tech Content Coach, South Windsor School District. This is part 2 of Rethinking Student Presentations. So part 1 was my example of a presentation. If you go back and you review that, you'll see that a lot of the slides, very few words, more pictures. Let the story, let my journey be the guideline for that presentation. So this part 2 is going to look a little bit more as not a presentation now, it's more the how-to stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. What are the keys to a successful presentation, whether it be student, teacher, or otherwise? The first key I would say is like always do your research first. Too often I work with students or work with people, not to blame students here, that try to set up their slide deck first. Can I get my slide deck? What's my topic going to look like? What's my theme going to look like, and all that? It's like whoa, stop. Do your research first. Find out what you need to find out, and then that's going to then inform your decisions on your slide deck. And when I say slide deck, all I'm doing is I'm merely just talking about the sequence of slides. Okay. Another key is a simple one, and lots of times I'll overlook this, is identify your audience. Am I speaking to students? Am I speaking to teachers? Am I speaking to teachers with a background in it, that don't have a background in it, et cetera, et cetera? The best job that you can do in identifying your audience, the better your presentation is going to be. If you'll notice right here, I've got identify your audience, and I got that same picture, but it does not look like the picture before. Here's a little side note, okay? Let me just jump out of this for a second. Let me go over here, go to recent, and let me go to the workshop. All right. Now, if I come down to this real quick, when you're setting up slides, you don't need to do all the work yourself. Okay, Google has a lot of things that are built into it. So here's that slide right now. And what it's going to say is go ahead and play around with this Explore button. You can see it right down here. When I click on that, it's going to give me some possibilities. So if you'll notice, and you take a look at that, and then go to my slide before, you'll see it's the exact same thing. So I can go ahead and find some different things that they're going to suggest, and some of these suggestions are absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not doing any of the work, they are. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, back to mine. Identify your audience, and the next one is to play around with that Explore button. Okay. Tell a story, tell a story, and tell a story. If you take nothing away from this presentation, please, that's what it's all about. Look at these little guys. I mean, got them mesmerized. I mean, they'd be bouncing off the walls if you weren't really holding their attention. And the way we do it is to tell a story. I also thought about, my last slide in my presentation was about a sales pitch. And I know this is way too many words, so sales pitches are pretty formulaic. Where are we today? What are we facing? What's the situation? Give a glimpse into that new vision. Recommend a new action. And in there, you may go ahead and play around with, hey, here's a boring new action or solution, and here's an inspiring one. So making yours look really, really good, and really showing why your option is really the only option. And then there's one big takeaway I'd like to have from this slide. Leave the audience excited. So many of us spend time thinking about our intro, but we don't spend any time thinking about our conclusion. Okay, and rather than doing those two really loaded words, those really difficult things, as an English teacher, I used to hate teaching intros and conclusions. Just think about it as a beginning and an ending. I think it's an easier way. Oh, guess what? We're getting back to story. A couple things real quick, actually a few things real quick. Be visual. Limit the text. People don't like to read. Sorry, former English teacher, I know that. Don't do bullet points. Even here, I'm getting around it a little bit, but remember, this is not a presentation. Video, there's 30 to 60 second. You can just get those and get after it that way. There's another thing that I want you to take a look at real quick, is that when I went to that slide, and when I had Steve Jobs talking right there, I went, and when I clicked on it, there's format options, and I can decide when that's going to start and when that's going to stop. And you can see I jetted ahead to where I wanted to have that 1 minute. I didn't want you to have to, I wanted to have to play that whole 7 minutes. Okay, so keep it short and embed the video. Don't have a link where it has to open up in another window. Charts and diagrams are really important. Infographics are wonderful, but just not too much information. I think, unfortunately, the slide that I use, little too much information. Transitions and animations, really keep them very simple, very basic, and they have to figure into something. They can't just be for show. Okay, it's just too sophomoric if you just kind of put it in bells and whistles just for the heck of it. And that's about it. It's a lot. But if you start to keep it simple and start to think TED Talk like, you're going to end up with a much better presentation. Hope this has been helpful. Have yourself a great day.